Good morning, all of you, and welcome back to the online session of microprocessors and microcontrollers class. In today's class, we will discuss the instruction set of 8086 microprocessor. So in the last class, we just went through the classification of the different types of instructions that are there in the instruction set of 8086 microprocessor. The slide shown to you gives the classification of instructions. So the instruction set of 8086 microprocessor will have 6 types of instructions. The first type is data transfer instructions. Next one, arithmetic instructions, logical instructions, string manipulation instructions, process control instructions, and control transfer instructions. Okay, so this classification is based on the type of operations they actually perform. Okay, so here the first category, data transfer instructions, performs the data transfer operations either between register to register or register to memory or memory to memory. Okay, so in this way the data transfer will be done by these instructions. Okay, so all the data transfer operations will be performed by these data transfer instructions. In the next category, the arithmetic operations. Okay, the instructions used to perform the arithmetic operations. What are all the arithmetic operations? We have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, so these kind of all arithmetic operations will be performed by these arithmetic instructions. Okay, coming to the third category, logical operations. What are all the logical operations we have? Like NAND operation, NOR operation, rotation operation, shifting operation, right? Complementing operation. Okay, so these are all the operations of under logical category. Okay, so those operations will be performed by the logical instructions here. Next is string manipulation instruction. String manipulation in the sense either shifting the string or rotating the string. Okay, so these kind of operations. Okay, or filling up a blank. Okay, so such kind of operations will be performed by the string manipulation instructions. Okay, process control instructions and control transfer instructions. Okay, process control and control transfer instructions will be doing like jump operations. Okay, or clear operations. Okay, so conditional operations will be performed by this process control and control transfer instructions. Okay, so let us now see what are all different instructions that are present under each category. Okay, what are all different instructions that we have under each category and how they are executed. Let us try to understand individually. The first category is data transfer instructions. Okay, instructions that are used to transfer data or address into the register, memory locations, and IO ports. Okay, so these instructions will be performing the data transfer. Okay, data transfer between data either whether it is data or address. It may be data or address between the registers or the memory locations or the IO ports. Okay, whatever may be the location, it may be either register or a memory location or an IO port. Okay, whatever may be the location, these instructions will perform the data transfer between them. Okay, generally they involve two operands. One is source operand and the other one is destination operand of the same size. Here you have to remember that whatever the size of source operand, the size of the destination operand should also be same. Like suppose if we have, let us say, move ax comma 08. So this is a not valid instruction. This instruction is not a valid one. Why it is not valid one? Here the source is of 8-bit size. Here the source is of 8-bit size. But the destination is of what? 16-bit size. But the destination is of 16-bit size. Okay. So that is why this instruction is not valid. Okay. So in place of AX, what should be used? We should use either AL or AH, which will carry only 8 bits. Okay, so the source size decides the destination size, and both operands, source operand and destination operand, should have same size. Okay, so source, a register. The sources may be either, see here, what are all could be the sources? Either a register or a memory location or an immediate data. Okay, it may be either a register or a memory location or an immediate data. Similarly, destinations could be a register or a memory location. Okay, so these are all the possibilities that we have here. The size should be either a byte or a word. The size should be either a byte or a word. A byte means 8 bits and a word means what? 16 bits. And 8-bit data can be moved, can only be moved to 8-bit register or memory, and 16-bit data can be moved to 16-bit register or memory. That was what we are talking about in this instruction. Here we are moving the 8-bit data into the 16-bit register, which is not a valid thing. Okay, we have to move the 8-bit data into 8-bit registers only. If you are moving 16-bit data, we have to use 16-bit registers. Okay, so the size of the operand should decide the size of size of the source operand should decide the size of destination operand. Right, so these are all the basic points that you have to keep in mind for understanding the data transfer instructions. Let me rewind those points here. The data transfer instructions are used to transfer the data or an immediate address to either registers or memory locations or IO ports. Okay, generally these instructions will have two operands. Okay, not about opcode. Opcode will be a different one. Okay, but the operand itself will have two parts. Okay, apart from opcode, the operand will have two parts. One part is source operand and the other part is destination operand. And both source operand and destination operand will have same size. Same size. Okay. The source operand may be either a register or a memory location or an immediate data. The destination operand may be either a register or a memory location. Okay, these are all the possibilities and conditions that you have to understand for what you can say writing the data transfer instructions. Let us now see what are all the data transfer instructions that we have. Keep these points discussed in mind. See, the first category, see, we are discussing move and exchange. Move and exchange in this particular slide. Okay. This first instruction, let us see. Move, this is the destination register and this is the source register. Okay. Move the data between two registers. That means the data in the register 1 will be transferred to the data in the register 2. That means we just copy. For example, let us say move AX comma BX, AX comma BX. That means the data which is present in the BX register, the data which is present in the BX register will get copied, that you have to understand. We just copy the data from source register to the destination register. We are not cutting the data. We are not deleting. That means the data will be present in the BX register, but it is just copied. It is not completely removed from BX register. It is just copied from BX register to the AX register. That is the thing that you have to understand in the data transfer instructions. When we are using move, means what? We are just copying the data from source operand to the destination operand. Okay, that doesn't mean that the source operand is empty. The source operand is empty. Okay. Only modification will be taken in the destination operand. That means if AX is containing some value like 00, it will be replaced by the data that is present in the BX register. Okay, the data that is there in the BX register will be copied into the AX register. That is the meaning of this instruction. Okay, this is the first category. The second one is move move memory comma register 1. Move memory comma register 1. That means what we are doing, we are moving or we are copying the contents of register into the memory. We are copying the contents of the register into the memory. That is the meaning. I can give you an example for this. I can give you an example like, let us say move 1095H. Okay, this is the memory location. As it is a memory location, we have to put that in the braces, and we can use any of the general purpose registers we have. Here I am using BX register. This is the example for this category, second category. That means we are copying the contents of BX register into this particular memory location. Into this particular memory location. That is the meaning here. Coming to the third category, move register to comma memory. Move register to comma memory. That means what? We are moving the contents of memory location into the register. That means we are copying the contents of memory location into the register. Here the example will be like this. Move some AX register, let us take AX comma 1100H. Okay, so as this is a memory location, we have to put this in braces. That means we are moving the contents of this particular memory location into the AX register. That is the meaning of this particular instruction. Okay, here you can see the points which we discussed in the previous slide, the conditions here. Okay, here the source is a register. The source is a register. Here the destination is a register or a memory location. Okay, here the source is either a register or a memory location. Here also the destination is either a register or a memory location. Let us see the next category. Let us see the next category, where the source is a data. Where the source is a data, but the destination is either a register or a memory location, as we discussed in the previous slide. Okay, so always you have to remember that when you are using a data transfer instruction, the destination should be either a register or a memory location. Other than that, you cannot have any destination. Okay, the condition that you have to keep in mind is when you are dealing with data transfer instructions. Okay, when you are writing a data transfer instruction, the destination should always be either a register or a memory location that suits the size of the source operand. Okay, and the source can be either a memory location or an immediate data or a register. Okay, we can have three options: a register, a memory location, or an immediate data. Okay, so in the first group we saw the register source operand and the memory source operand. In the second category we will see the data source operand. Okay, so in the first instruction what we are doing, move register comma data. Move register comma data. That means we are moving the data into register. We are moving the data into register directly. The example for this is move BL comma If you want, you can write these in your notebook just to remember. Okay, BL comma 04H. Okay, here we will not specify any braces here. We will not give any braces to this particular data because it is data. We are directly moving this 04H, which is the data, into BL register. Okay, that means whatever the contents that are there in the BL register will be replaced by 04H. That is the meaning of this instruction here. Okay, we are directly moving the data into the register. Similarly, coming to the next instruction, move memory comma data. Move memory comma data. That means we are moving the data into the memory location. Here the destination has changed. Okay. In the previous instruction, we used register as the destination. Here in the second instruction, we are using memory location as the destination. The example for this could be move, what we can say, 1, 5, 4, 3, H. 1, 5, 4, 3, H. This is the memory location and the data could be 0, 4, H. Okay. So in this manner, we can write the this particular instruction. This is the example for this category. Okay. So these are all the possibilities of move instruction. When we are using move instruction, these are all the different ways in which you can use that particular move instruction. Okay. So this is the first instruction of data transfer instruction set. Okay. Hope the things are clear to you. The next instruction is exchange. That means XCHG. XCHG. XCHG means what? Exchange. Okay. Exchange. Okay. Exchange. So what does this do? This instruction exchanges the data between. This instruction exchanges the data between either memory to register or register to memory. This is the only possible. Okay, exchanging means what? Both should have, okay, both should have containers. Okay, A container, B container. Let us say there are two containers and both should have what? Something inside it. Something inside it. Then only the exchanging is possible. Exchanging means what? The contents of B will be transferred to A and the contents of the A will be transferred to B. Okay. This is called exchange. When you have one container as empty, that is not treated as exchange. That is not treated as exchange. That is just treated as movement of data, just copying of data to another thing. That's it. Okay. So exchanging is done between either register to memory location or memory location to the register, which will have data in them. Okay. Let us now see what are all different possibilities of writing this instruction. The first possibility is XCHG, exchange register 2 comma register 1. Register 2 comma register 1. That means the contents of register 1 will be transferred to register 2. The contents of register 2 will be transferred to the register 1. That means the exchange of data is between two registers. Similarly, I'll give you an example for this. Just a minute. Example may be XCHG. XCHG AX comma BX, AX comma BX. That means what? The contents of BX registers will get transferred to AX and the contents of AX register will be transferred to BX. So these two registers exchange the data between them. Okay. The next category is exchange memory comma register. Exchange memory comma register. That means what? The contents of register will be transferred to the memory location and the contents of memory location will be transferred to the register here. The example for this could be SPHG. What is the memory location? Let us say 4567. This is the memory location. Let us say H and DX. That means what? The contents of DX register will be transferred to the 4567 memory location and the contents of this memory location will get transferred to the DX register. That is the meaning here. Okay. Here we can also have another one, XPHG register comma memory. That means we can also transfer the contents of memory location to the register and the contents of register to the memory location. This is also one possibility we have. Okay. That means our source could be a memory location. Our source could be a memory location. Here only register as a source operand was given to you, but our source could be a memory location too. Okay. If you understand the basic thing, then you could easily understand these instructions. Okay. Let us move on to the next category. Push and pop instructions. Push and pop instructions. So these are the instructions, special type of instructions, which are used for operating the stack pointer. Okay. We have a stack segment now. Okay. We'll have a stack segment inside the memory of microprocessor. Okay. So in order to access that particular stack, we use these push and pop instructions. Okay. Apart from stack accessing, these instructions are nowhere used. Just keep it in mind. Okay. These push and pop instructions are used to only access the stack segment. Okay. So what are all the different instructions that come under this category? Let us see. Okay, in how many ways that we can use this push and pop instructions that we will see now. The first thing is push a register or memory location. That means push register 16. That means what? We can use the contents. See here, for example, when we use push means what? We are pushing the data into the stack pointer. Suppose we'll have a stack like this. Stack is nothing but a rack. Okay, we'll have racks inside our houses now. Okay, just like a rack here. So the rack will have different slots. Okay, like this. Will have different slots. So each and every slot is represented as a memory location. Now, when you need to insert data into the stack segment, then we will use this push instruction. Okay. So push stack pointer. Okay. So when we use this particular push register 16, then what happens? Always the stack pointer. SP means what? Stack pointer. Just like instruction pointer we have, what does the instruction pointer do? Instruction pointer holds the address of the next instruction that has to be executed. Similarly, the stack pointer SP also holds the address of the stack, top address of the stack. Suppose, let us say this is 000 and this is 2000 H, 1000 H to 2000 H. This is a stack segment, let us say. Okay, for example, let us say this is the stack segment. This is the starting address and this is the ending address. So what happens is stack pointer always holds this address, the top address. Okay, so when you are using this push instruction, what happens is we have to incorporate this data which is present in the register, in this register. Okay, so the register content will be transferred to the stack. The register content will be transferred to the stack. So what will happen is the stack pointer will get decremented because this stack pointer which is pointing will always have the something in it. So the stack pointer gets decremented by 2 and the contents of this register will be inserted into this memory location. See what happens when you use this push instruction. That means the contents of this register will be pushed into the next 2 addresses of the stack. The contents of this particular register will be pushed to the next address of the stack. Okay. Similarly, when you use this push memory, the contents of this memory location will be pushed into the next addresses of the stack. So that is what it is indicating here. Okay. First, the stack pointer will get decremented and the effective address will be calculated like this, and the contents of this particular register or this memory location will be transferred to the next address. Okay, whatever the address that we have calculated here will be transferred here. Okay, so we have to remember that push instruction is used to what you can say, put data into the stack. Okay, insert data into the stack. Okay. So here generally the contents of register or the contents of memory location will be inserted into the stack. Okay. So as I told you, the stack is generally used for temporary storage only. This is generally used for temporary storage. Okay. Generally we use this stack for what? Temporary storage of data. Okay. This is not a permanent storage device. Okay. While performing different arithmetic and logical operations, some data has to be repeatedly used. Some data has to be repeatedly used. Okay. So that particular data which has to be repeatedly used in a particular operation will be temporarily stored in a particular location, which is called stack. Okay. The next instruction is pop. What is this pop? Okay. So what does this push instruction does? This instruction pulls or inserts the data into the stack. Now, after inserting the data, we have to take it out. Okay, we have to take it out whenever it is necessary. So that process of bringing the data from the stack, bringing the data from the stack is performed by this pop instruction. Okay, so pop instruction is used to get the data from the stack. Okay, so what happens here? Here decrement operation has taken place. Here the increment operation will take place because the stack pointer here, this is very much important. The stack pointer will always have the topmost address. Of the stack. Okay. So the stack, all what is the principle of stack? What is the principle of stack? First in, last out. First in, last out. That means we'll be filling like this. We'll be filling like this. First this will be filled. Next this will be filled. Next this will be filled. Next this will be filled. Because as I told you, this is 1000 H and this is 2000 H. And this stack pointer will always hold this 2000 H. 2000 H. So first 2000 H will be filled. Next 1999 will be filled. Next, so in order to fill the stack, we have to perform decrement operation. We have to perform what? Decrement operation. That means when you use push instruction, we are indirectly performing the decrement operation in the stack. Decrement operation in the stack. Okay. Similarly, after filling all the 1000 locations, when we need to access to the data, when we need the data that is there in the stack, we need to perform increment operation. We need to perform what? Increment operation. That means which is entered the stack last, the data which entered the stack last will be accessed first. Last in, first out. Okay, last in, first out. That means first the data that is there in the 1000th location will be accessed. Next 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Okay, so in such a manner the data will be accessed. That is the principle of stack. Last in, first out. Last in, first out. Okay. The data which entered the stack lastly will be out first. Okay. So this pop instruction is used to access the data from the stack. So in order to access the data from the stack, we need to perform incremented operation. So this pop instruction will perform incrementation of the stack pointer. Okay. So in that manner, okay, when you use this pop register, the data that is present in the 1000th address will be loaded into this particular register. Similarly, when you use this pop memory location, the data that is present in the 1000th location will be loaded into the memory location. Okay. Similarly, when we use this repeatedly, what happens? This address will get incremented 1001H, 1002H, 1003H, 1004H in that manner. Okay. So that is how this push and pop instructions are used to access the stack segment. Okay. So push instruction is used to insert the data into the stack by performing the decrement operation, and pop instruction is used to, what you can say, get the information from the stack by using the increment operation. Okay. So how we will perform that, we saw now. Okay. This is because of the principle last in, first out of the stack. Okay. Hope the point is clear to you. Moving on to the next category here, in and out. Okay. So this is a different category. As I told you in the previous class, these instructions are particularly used for the accessing of port addresses. What do you mean by port address? Suppose, let us say, we have a microprocessor. Or CPU. For this microprocessor, we connected a keyboard. Okay. So we interface the keyboard to this. So this is an IO device. Okay. Generally, keyboard is an input device. Okay. As far as the knowledge we have, keyboard is the input device to any computer, right? So this keyboard will be interfaced with the processor. Through port. Okay. Through port. So for every port there will be an address. there will be an address. Okay, there will be an address. So at that address only these input output devices like keyboard, monitor, pen drives will be connected. Okay, at that port. See, for every country we need a port. General example. For every country we need ports. Okay. For every port we have a special address. Okay. So through that port only we have to either import or export that goods. Okay. Through that address only. Similarly here also for every microprocessor we have some ports. We have some ports. Okay. So each and every port will have a special address. Each and every port will have a special address. So when you connect some input output device to that particular port, we have to access that particular input output device through that particular address only. Through that particular address only. Okay. Suppose this is port 1. Suppose this is port 1. For any microprocessor you take, you will have 3 to 4 ports. 3 to 4 ports. Okay. So let this be port 1. Okay. Port 1. P1. So the address of port 1 is, let us say, 3344H. Example, for example only I am taking these addresses. Okay, these are not the permanent addresses. For example only, keep this in mind. Okay, so let the address of port 1 be 3344H. Okay, let us say for port 1 I have connected a keyboard. I have connected a keyboard. When I need to access the data, when I need to access this keyboard, okay, how do I communicate to the processor? How do I communicate to the processor? That means, suppose that through keyboard I want to enter a name. Okay, that means what? Keyboard is sending data. Keyboard is sending data that has to be received by the processor. Okay, so how do I communicate with the keyboard? How do I communicate with the keyboard? Okay, so through this address only. Through this address only. So for the communication of these IO devices through this address, we use this in and out instructions. Use this in and out instructions. Okay. So what is happening here? Let us see. In A, comma DX. See, and one more point that I have to mention here is always the port addresses, input output port addresses will be by default stored in the DX register. Okay. For accessing the port addresses, we by default use the DX register. Okay. Always the DX register will have the port addresses. Right. So what is that we are using here? Input. In means what? Input. In means what? Input. Okay. So in A comma dx. In A comma dx. That means what? In AL comma dx. That means the port address. The port address will be transferred to the AL register. The port address will be transferred to the AL register, or the data that is present in the port address will be transferred to the AL. Similarly, this is the 8-bit one because we are using the destination register as the 8-bit register. That means we have to understand the data in this address. The data in this address is 8-bit. And coming to this instruction here, we are using what? 16-bit register as the destination register. That means the 16-bit port address will be transferred to this 16-bit register. Okay. Similarly, we can use a output address. Okay, output address. Okay. Either input or output. Okay, so for input devices we use input. For output devices we use out instruction. For input devices we need to use in. For output devices we have to use out instruction. Okay, so here this is the first category between the register. The second category is we can directly use the address. We can directly use the port address. Okay, we can directly use the port address. This is address 16, not 8, this is address 60. Okay, hope the point is clear to you. We can perform these operations in two ways, that is either between two registers, input operation and output operation, or between a memory location directly into the register. Okay, this is the process. Okay, so these are all the categories of instructions that come under data transfer instructions. Okay, hope the points are clear to you. The first category comes under data transfer. The second category comes under the special operations of stack pointer, and the third one will come under the accessment or the data transfer between the input output devices interfaced with the microprocessor. Okay, so hope the data transfer instructions are clear to you. If there is any doubt regarding this particular topic, I'll help you to unmute yourself. Now get unmuted yourself and ask me the doubt. Yes,
Sir,
are there any doubts?
exchanging sir.
Pardon?